Good morning and welcome to our thought for the day for Monday 27th of April. This morning our reading comes from Psalm 30, and I'd encourage you to read the whole of the Psalm 30, but I'm not going to read the whole of it. I'm just going to read two verses 6 and 7, and I'm reading them from the Message translation of the Bible, which might be slightly different to yours. It's this is what it says. When things were going great, I crowed, I've got it made. I'm God's favourite. He made me king of the mountain. And then you looked the other way, and I fell to pieces. When things were going great, I crowed, I've got it made. I'm God's favourite. He made me king of the mountain. Then you looked the other way, and I fell to pieces. Psalm 30 starts off in praise of God and it closes in praise of God, but in the middle things don't go brilliantly well. And clearly there's this kind of this moment where the writer of the psalm hits the heights, whether they're worldly, physical heights or spiritual heights. We don't really know, probably a combination of both. But instead of simple gratitude and humility, there's this sense that that this person's got, I've got it made. I'm all right, Jack. Never mind about anything else. And of course, this psalm just reminds us that that's not the right attitude. And it's quite interesting because it goes on to say, when you looked away, I fell to pieces. And there are two ways of interpreting that verse. One way is to go that when things are going badly, that God doesn't have his eye on us. But I don't think that's entirely right, and I don't actually think that's how the Old Testament views God. There are moments when, in fact, throughout Scripture, when something bad is happening, God is still in charge and he's allowed these bad things to happen. Sometimes he seems to have actually instigated the bad things to happen. But nevertheless, there are also plenty of psalms that say, for example, and so therefore you would get sort of the idea that when times are good, you're close to God and God is close to you, and when things are going badly, God's far away. But actually, there are plenty of examples in Scripture when those who are close to God are going through difficult times, and those who are far away are finding it easy. There are psalms that actually moan at God about how the wicked seem to be having a wonderful time of it. Why do the wicked have such a great time? And yet the saints go through such a horrid time. But nevertheless, in this psalm, there's certainly the feeling that this person who obviously had a great amount of pride in all the good things that were happening has suddenly lost it all because God has turned his face away from him. And I don't know how you're coping at the moment with lockdown. Some of us are finding it very difficult, and some of us are actually thriving and enjoying it. If you're finding it difficult, you need to go to the end of Psalm 30, because at the end he makes it very clear, you turned my wailing into dancing again. And of course, at the end of the book, God wins, love wins, peace, joy in all their fullness are available to all who would seek them from God. So if you're wailing at the moment, just know that dancing is round the corner. I don't know when it will be for you, but it's there. God will see it through. If, on the other hand, you are king of the mountain at the moment, the mountain of lockdown, actually, just a warning for those of us who are in that position. We need to just be humble and be grateful. And remember that whatever good we experience in our lives, whether physical, psychological, spiritual, ultimately the author of it all is not ourselves, but it's God. Let's give thanks to him for all the good things that he's given us. I hope you have a great day If you're having a tough time, I hope you know that God is looking on you, and that you'll experience his presence and know that you're in the palm of his hand. May you be blessed by that. And if you're going through a really good time at the moment, well, that's great. But remember to give thanks. Bless you. Have a God-filled day.